Alright guys, so here we are. This is a video I've been wanting to make for a while. This is my Iridology review. These are pictures of my irises that were taken at the beginning of this month, so the beginning of March 2017. I took these photos. I take photos about every 6 months, but I took these ones specifically because I have recently started a 60-day program with a company trained under Dr. Robert Morse. Fruits, Berries, and Melons are called, and they actually are located not far from myself, so I was able to have an in-person meeting, which was awesome. So I am trained in iridology, but I found that my training didn't give me a lot of skills as to what to do once I did the diagnosis. So that's why I'm working with fruits, berries, and melons. So let's just do a little overview. So right here we have my left eye. My eyes are actually, they appear kind of like a gray-green if you just look at me, but they are in fact blue eyes. For anyone that's watched any iridology videos before, they are really only two true colors. You get blue and you have brown. And for my eyes, the tendency to see green is because of all the yellow in the center. So as we move away, you'll kind of see that's kind of what my eye looks like in natural light. So as we, sorry about that. So as we look close here, you'll notice that there's some fibers. They're a little bit wavy, which means that there's kind of a weakness in constitution at the moment. Other things that you see right away, especially in this eye, there are some foggy areas. So this area up here, this is the upper jaw, nose, mouth, kind of goes into the head. The kind of iris can be read almost like the top is the head and the bottom is the feet and the lower parts of the torso. So a lot of congestion in here, not surprising for me. I always feel a little bit nasally, and I always feel like I have to clear my throat in the morning when I'm talking. I always feel like kind of mucusy, which takes us into this ring right around the center here. So you notice that there's a lot of yellow. This is lymphatic congestion. It's mucus that is built up within my body. So going across the top, this represents the left part of the transverse colon. So the part of the colon that goes across just underneath the rib cage. And then going down the it appears the right side, but the left side, this is the transverse colon. So this is the last part of the colon before waste exits the body. So there's a lot of, you can see kind of the zigzags here. There's some kind of constriction, some tension. I do feel a lot of pinching in the area just under my rib cage. Sometimes it feels like it might be my stomach, but it could be this as well. So definitely a lot of buildup in here. And then going just inside this ring, this is all represented. This is all the stomach here. You'll see a little bit more in the next eye that I move to. Other things that I want to touch on in here, this is the lung area. This has been an area in previous photos that I have, especially like I have iridology photos back from 2006, and this was a really weak area. So my body's actually done a lot of recovery in the lung area. I was born with asthma and had to take an inhaler for a lot of my early years. So you'll see this spot here. Often those are called like drug deposits. They're just kind of collections of unnatural materials within the body, and they have grown over time. So my teacher often said he was pretty sure it was like a freckle, something you were born with, and it just kind of stayed there. But mine have definitely changed over time. In this eye you can see 5 significant ones. So the one in the lung here, on the other side, esophagus, so going down the throat. This spot right here is in the medulla, so in the brain, in the back part of the brain. And then we have a little tiny patch down here, and this is kidney. So this area right here is kidney, and if you kind of blur your eyes, you'll see it's slightly darker. So that's an area that we're definitely targeting right now. Yeah, so I don't want to make this video too long, but that's kind of what's happening. Another thing that you'll notice, especially when I zoom out of the image, you can see little white pearls just along the inside of the eye. This is called a lymphatic rosary. So it's congestion in the lymph system, and for me, it's especially in the head and chest area. It's an upper body thing. So, and then also dark around the very external ring of the eye. This is skin, so it's houses circulation in the body, especially in this lung area. Like this has gotten really dark. Like now that I'm looking at this and talking about it, it's pretty crazy. So let's see what the other eye looks like. So this is onto my right eye. So the right side of my body, just a kind of a background, if you don't know much about me, a lot of the things that happen in my body tend to happen on the right side for some reason. I'm not sure why. So again, you'll see lots of yellow all the way around the ring. I didn't mention on the other eye, but the top and the external area, that kind of top and outside area is the colon. So again, we have the transverse colon. This is the ascending colon. So this is where after things come out of the small intestine, they travel up, across, and then down on the left side. On the inside is the small intestine, and then on the bottom here is, kind of the large intestine part that is at the bottom of the body, so near the reproductive system. So again, transverse colon, lots of mucus buildup. And sorry, it's a little blurry, but you can actually see, so I mentioned this is the stomach area. You can see that a lot of the buildup that used to exist along this, this nerve wreath is what it's called, has actually moved into the stomach area. So it's kind of like it's traveling up in the body. A couple different spots here. So this one right here is near it's in the back. So we're looking at like middle back. This one right here, we're looking at the abdominal wall, the pelvis, that type of area. So right now I have a bit of an injury, long-term injury, torn hamstring. I'm not sure if this is related, very possibly. And then this spot right here is one that I'm really keeping an eye on. So this specific dark spot here, when the dark starts to occur, that's where there's some degrading in the tissues, some lack of circulation, some areas you really want to be aware of. And this one I'm keeping an eye on. So this specifically is the appendix. So you'll see there's kind of a lot of congestion, blurring, that type of thing happening in this area. And I'm kind of freaked out about appendix because when the appendix goes, you've got like a couple hours. So that's happening. Another dark spot here is thyroid. I do currently have a rather large cyst on my thyroid that I found about 8 years ago, and I was just actually at my doctor's today to get another ultrasound done because it's been a while and we both feel like it might actually be growing, so I'm really glad I'm on this path right now. A lot of congestion here, so transverse colon on this side connects to, well, both sides of the transverse colon connects to the brain, but there's a lot of buildup in this area affecting the pituitary, the five senses, just kind of, mood, all of that stuff. What do we have here? Again, medulla. So medulla is a big area on both sides of my eyes specifically. And then a lot of pelvis, reproductive area here. I've had ovarian cysts on the right side of my body. Congestion, hip area here, back. And then when we come out, you can see there's actually a lot more lymphatic rosary, especially in the lung area on this side. So kind of lungs and chest are both sides of the eye. So it's a really significant part. The eye is almost completely taken up by intestines, lungs, and brain. And then you've got, you know, a lot of little stuff down here. But what else to mention? I mean, there's a lot to see here, but the general light, almost white color, you can see a lot of white here. If we go back to the other picture, again, a lot of white, a lot of blurring. White and light is inflammation, and dark is degradation, if you know, kind of look at it in those ways. So white is kind of your first step, your first signs of a problem, and then it kind of goes from there. What else should I mention? Last thing I want to mention, so these lines in the white of the eye, they actually point to some significant areas, and interestingly, they're both pointing the to the upper back. So this is the left eye here. So esophagus, scapula, all the kind of the upper back, neck, and same thing on this side, again really pointing out this area from the neck to the chest, the heart, all of that stuff. So that's what's going on. I hope to do another, hopefully, progress shot in maybe another month or so, as I'm almost 2 weeks into my meal plan and my herbs are going to be starting soon. But I just wanted to kind of give you that image and a little snapshot for myself, so you can kind of see these side by side, maybe. That's a little weird. So that's one eye beside the other, and that's what's happening right now. So I hope you guys are doing awesome, and I will see you in the next video.